Hey, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, uncles and aunties out there in the world. How are you going? My baby's crying. I just finished my first ever STRAVA segment. Maybe not a segment, my first STRAVA. I don't know the words yet. I did a STRAVA thing, but I rode my skateboard because I want to use that app, but I don't like running and I don't have a bike at the moment. So I just went for a hot lap skate and then did 20 nollies, 20 switch ollies, and 20 silver barrier ollies. And it was a good time, very good time. Blood pumping, heart racing, sweat, sweat, sweat. Covered about 5 kilometers of ground. I was very interested to see how far I go during a skate. And usually I would do the last part longer. But I did a big long distance sprint first, so awesome. How are you today?
Yeah, right.
Thanks for tuning in.
No worries, mate.
So I want to share with you a little story from the past evening and morning yesterday. I allowed myself to get a little bit frustrated. I recently stopped eating, when I say recently I mean 6 months ago or so, I stopped eating animal products and became more aware of the inherent hypocrisy in loving animals but eating animal products, supporting a terrible, just rapacious industry, and decided to cut it all out of my life, go vegan, basically. And after that, I came to Taiwan and got married and welcomed a beautiful baby daughter into the world. Very exciting, changing time for myself. Lots of change, so very drastic. And it's been great. My wife is not vegan, and her family in Taiwan all not vegan. And being fresh, I can understand the position of just habitually eating meat because that's what we do. That's what's being done, and that's what is believed to be the right thing to do. It's the way we do it. But more and more, I have less and less tolerance for that attitude as the people around me, my wife specifically, knows more now. She knows better than that. But there's still this she has pressure from both sides. She's many years of programming and conditioning to believe that meat is the right thing to eat, and it's okay, and it's justifiable and rational to eat animals. Like, it's what we do. And everyone in all of her circles are firmly in that position. Not everyone, that's not entirely true. There are some people who don't eat meat, apparently, and that's awesome. But from her family, everyone in her family is making sure that she eats meat. I keep thinking, people say, what about, like, it's not your job, it's not your position to tell someone else what to do, to push someone else to make different choices. Like, you can't choose for other people, you've got to let them live and let live. And that's a fair statement to make, but that kind of isn't a fair statement to make, because the point of veganism is to cut out abuse wherever possible and practical, to reduce suffering and reduce harm. And so there's this, like, scales situation, weighing the scales, like, what is acceptable? Is it acceptable for me to put pressure on somebody who I love, who I want to spend a very great long time with the rest of my life, to stop behaving in ways that I find completely unacceptable? But in doing so, be exhibiting behaviours that other people find completely unacceptable. Where is the balance here? So last night, for the past couple of days, it's been awesome. She's just been amazing and not had any meat, and been eating some fruit for breakfast, which is so important, and drinking lots of water, and just understanding, even sharing the vegan message on Facebook and talking with me about it, becoming more interested. And it's been so uplifting for me. And then last night, her mum brings home some pork soup for her. This big hunks of pork in a black soup. And it's probably super normal. It's definitely super normal and like traditional cultural meal here in Taiwan. And the belief here is that when you're a new mother or you're pregnant, you have to eat a lot of meat. You have to eat a lot of chicken soup and pork soup and all this stuff to get lots of nutrients from the animals, and so that you can grow another animal. And I can understand that position as well, because I was there myself, believing that meat was necessary. You can't get enough protein from not eating meat. You have to eat meat to get enough nutrients, protein, amino acids, calcium for milk, blah, 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 blah. But it's just not true. And then they have this argument here that everyone has a different body type, and they say that Western people can eat cold foods, but if these people eat cold foods, then they'll get sick. So they can't just eat vegetables, they have to eat meat. They can't only eat vegetables and fruit, because then they won't be healthy. And while to a certain degree I agree with the idea that everybody's body has been conditioned to function optimally in different ways. But having said that, there is inherent optimal function specs, like perhaps many years of consuming meat has rendered these people exceptionally proficient at it. However, I still watch the TV and see so many ads for drugs, supplements, all these pills, all this shit that people apparently need to have. So that speaks volumes for how really well everybody is in this society, and the fact that those are on TV suggests that there'd be millions of people who are really not in a state of mind to be thinking about the origins of their actions, the implications of the habitual things that they perform and support and encourage. And so yesterday I let it get to me lots, because she just dove right in, just ate the soup, no worries. And yeah, it bothered me. And I just I can't help but just keep thinking about it in my head. I just keep playing it back, not playing it back, but just thinking about all the reasons, just justifying to myself this rage inside. Like, if I was to bring home a pig and then just slaughter it in front of you and then start hoeing into it, you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do that, that's fucked. And all these things, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to just keep blabbering onto her. So I'm sharing with the internet, and anyone who wants to watch, if she watches this, I can't not express how I feel, and I do really want to be less harsh about it and less mean. They keep saying, don't be mean, don't be mean, don't be mean. And I'm just like, dude, I'm not being mean. I'm trying to help you, to help yourself, to help these animals. Like, don't eat the dead people. Don't eat the dead people. Like, it's not that hard to understand. Like, and then there's this fucking, oh, it's just a little bit, like, I gotta do it slowly. You can't do it all at once. And I understand this as well, like, fair enough. When I first started, I did it a little bit. I didn't even know I was doing it. I just sort of gravitated away from eating meat first, because I felt like it just fucked with my system and I didn't want to do it. And then after a couple of weeks, I'd just get this hankering for a pie, and I'd go and get a meat pie and eat the meat pie, and then as soon as I ate the meat pie, I'd be like, fuck that. Man, I feel like shit. Why did I do that? There's some dead shit in my body now. So I understand that, but understanding the point and then just ignoring how you claim to feel. You claim to understand and claim to love animals. You claim to love animals and understand that eating them is supporting their exploitation. But then to just go, oh, I just forget about it. I got this big blind spot. I'm going to just eat my soup, because I understand, though. It's because she's got so much pressure from her cultural habituation, and just it's so normal. And her mom, who just wants her to be healthy and does what she thinks is right and provides sustainable food. And I'm really sorry, because this must be such a difficult position for you to be in. And now I'm talking to my wife through this camera, which is silly. Anyway, I'm going to continue. Because you have two people on both sides who love you and want the best for you. but they think the best for you is to polar opposites. But I think I'm right, and I don't think I'm right. I'm just right. It's not a matter of me having the opinion that I'm right or that I'm justified. I am justified. I know that justifying things doesn't make them right, right? Because that's what the argument is with veganism. Just because it's normal to eat meat doesn't mean it's okay to murder things, right? Justifications don't go well. But, for example, somebody who smokes cigarettes should not be giving health advice. Somebody who is fat and unhealthy and sore all the time and immobilized by just illness mentality, disease mentality, dis-ease, like dysfunction as the first state of being, should not be trying to encourage people to follow certain activities, practices. Whereas, to blow my own horn and make myself sound special, I want to be active and healthy and eat well, eat plant foods, eat whole foods, because I know that they work best for our bodies because that's what they're made to eat. I don't know if that's what they're made to eat. I didn't get an instruction manual, but that's what makes sense. That's what makes sense and feels good. Spiritually, intellectually, empathetically, every way. And so my way to express these feelings without just shouting and kicking up stink is to be really shitty and I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to look at you, which is really shit. Withholding your affection from somebody is not okay, really. So I need to work on that. And then calling her out on Facebook, because that's where it seems to hurt the most. That's where it's most inconvenient and abrasive, without being directly abrasive face to face. Like, there's this idea that the internet people and internet friends aren't real life, but I can show you how real Facebook is. If I say something that's truthful and abrasive and it's going to cause like this tense, nobody wants to talk about that, come on, what are you doing? It's very real. If I start saying things that people don't want to hear that are the truth, then everybody gets a little bit, oh, don't, oh, no. And that's fair enough. Like, if you're watching this, guys, I'm not really sorry, but I hope you can enter into discussion with me, even though there's a language barrier. Like, let's just figure out what the truth is and be happy about it. So I post some shit on Facebook because she posts things on Facebook about veganism. I'm really proud of her for doing that. I'm ranting now. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. Oh yeah, my way was to be sooky, post some shit on Facebook saying more stuff about veganism and so that she will feel like, oh yes, I know, I remember, I do like these ideas and I do understand and I do want this, but I just ate some soup. She's going to draw a connection between just casually eating the dead meat and having fallout. Like I don't want to be just happy and go, yeah, cool, it's okay, just eat the dead animals. And then I do what I think is probably not the best, but plants need to be pruned, right? So I gave this guy a little haircut and moved this part from here to here because this belongs to somebody and it's nice and their treasure plant. I feel sad about disrespecting the life of the plant, but I haven't killed it. It's still alive. I've just rearranged it, put it on display. So if you're watching this video, still watching this video, appreciate it. If you've got any advice, any tips, anything you'd like to say, if you had some thoughts in your head while you were watching this video, please chuck them down in the comments below. I really want engagement and conversation, discourse with people about these things, because I've in the past experienced what it's like to not be connected authentically, genuinely with open discourse for periods of time and have only discourse with the self and then with other people have just Hi, how you going? Yeah, pretty good, not too bad. Yeah, cool, see you later. So I want to use the internet and use these social media platforms for proper connection. Because that's the opportunity we have, is to build connection online, which is what I'm trying to do here. I'm sharing my life with people, with anyone who wants to see it, or who doesn't and happens to click on it and then goes, fuck, I just wasted 15 minutes. Just did my first STRAVA segment, STRAVA, on my skateboard today. It was fun. I sweated a lot. There's sweat all over the floor. I'm not going to clean it up. And now I'm going to have a shower and eat some fruit and then go see how my family's going. I think they're okay. So, as always,